Welcome back everyone to Missions 101, where today we are going to run through the third pair of missions in the fourth set, where we have Alsma here, who should have a few left. It has 4 left. Let's start out with Scatha''s Legacy. I have a new mission for you, Pineleaf. My scouts have just returned from Wormsgraf. Among the countless bones and dead in Scatha''s larder, they discovered the moldering remains of several dwarves. From what I have been told, I can only surmise that they are long ago fell victim to Scath'a the worm. But that is no place for the bones of a dwarf to rest. You are to travel to Scatha''s larder in Wormsgraf and reclaim the bones of the fallen dwarves. Let them be laid to rest amongst the honored dead. So let's collect the remains of some dwarves. And deep within Wormsgraf there lies a great larder in which once belonged to Scath'a the worm. Long lost to the dwarves of the north, the time has come to reclaim the remains of their ancestors from Scath'a. Your mission is to recover the scavenged remains of the dwarves that met their ends in Scatha''s larder, and they call for reinforcements, most likely drakelings or something nasty like that. Let's go and find out. Well, maybe let's not find out about the reinforcements. Here we are, looking for Scatha''s Legacy. Or in this case, I guess a legacy of bones of those that she has killed over time. Oh, yeah, he's calling up reinforcements, alright. Well then, let's not have that. There you go. So I'm going to grab 3 dwarves over here, then I'm going to go in that direction, which has another 3. That's the optimal way in which I find in which to do this. And now let's take care of this one. So as we don't wind up with... Of course, there's always a possibility that a patrol could come by and bring in 5 of these at a time. Alright, I exaggerate slightly. Look, last thing I need when I'm in a situation like this is to get reinforcements. Wait, that was nasty. Good grief. Well, fortunately, wardens have nice AoE heals that could leech from their opponents. Unfortunately, my tactical mitigation is really bad. so I need to stay out of the fire due to that. I think I have a really bad tactical mitigation. It's one of those things I always forget about when I do all my character stuff, and I think there are a couple of things I need to update on my legacies in any case. Which I sometimes forget about that. I've started to fix things up slightly on Landrival, but this is Crick Hollow, where I'm pretty sure my... Oh yeah, this could turn into a real joke trying to look into these. Damage source, tactical, yeah. Mitigations, oh yes, tactical mitigation. Alright, 128k, which is... about 1/4 of my physical mit. And I'm pretty sure my physical mit isn't exactly up to specs either. Oh, he got that off? You're kidding me. Oh! Well, okay, that's not a drakeling. That's a big worm. That's quite a reinforcement there. Quite a big reinforcement. Alright, let's look at these remains. Actually, I might as well have a spot to eat also before I do that. I am going to have to go and make some more food. I don't think it's all that long ago that I made my last batch. So these missions are really, I was going to say eating into my food supply, but maybe that's a little bit too close of an analogy. Well, I suppose that since I'm the one who's munching on them, that it is probably more of a literal case in anyway. There you go. And now for you. Let's go to these four remains. Yeah, there's one more set right over here. Now, of course, if you want to kill more worms, you could wipe out all the worms before picking up the last one, since the mission only worries about killing those. Let's head back up here. Find the scout, pick this up. There you go. I want to do this one relatively quickly because the next mission, I think, is going to be a long one. I am certain the descendants of those you recovered offer their truest gratitude, Pine Leaf. Let us return and report your success to Ozma. We are, of course, assuming that they lived long enough to have any descendants, but that's an entirely different matter. Too long have these dwarves been kept by the dragons of Eredmithrin. May they at last come to rest amongst the bones of their own kin. Very good. Now comes one of the most annoying missions of them all. The Goblin-Town Gauntlet. Just the name of it is a warning that this is going to be a painful one. The goblins of the Misty Mountains have long plagued the peoples of Rovanian. A great horde of them still resides inside Goblin-Town. It is imperative that we keep them inside the mountains and prevent them from adding their forces to Gorgar's armies. I task you with entering Goblin-Town and blocking off the doors that lead to their many tunnels. I can't ask you to face all of Goblin-Town in battle yourself, but I bet you can cause them some trouble. Yeah. And this is the first and most painful of all the ones with the never-ending twist. Monsters in this mission will continue to join the fight until their entry point is destroyed. Now, on some of them, they have a limit of how many can be out at a time. That's not true with this one. No. Goblin has long been the thorn in the side of the free peoples of Rovanian. Once again, the goblin horde inside stirs. Your mission is to block the goblin doors heading to the many tunnels inside a goblin town, and this one I think is just annoying enough that I am going to eat something before I go. The Goblin-Town Gauntlet, and this is one where dowling is probably not a good idea. So come forward a little bit. And as soon as this guy spawns in, it is time to head on your way, because I don't know the algorithm for those portals spawning, but it seems like as soon as you enter, they spawn and they could quickly accumulate huge numbers of goblins. At least that's what I felt like the first time I ran this one. Now, it could maybe work like a Minecraft spawner where if you're within a certain amount, it spawns them. And it's just a matter of perception or something like that, but right now I like to get rid of these goblins as quickly as possible and get to those doors, because there's the first of the doors up there. Now, it could be that they've tamed it down a little bit. We will have to see. But you see, just another one just came out there. And I'm not exactly one who kills at an optimal rate. So let's shut that one in, and the other one is right here. But I think I've gotten a little bit better on that. I still think it needs some improvements. Fortunately, these are greenies. But you can see here, another one's already spawned out. Oh, okay. For a moment there, I said, well, why can't I attack the goblin? Oh, it looks like I didn't get interrupted in my disposal of that door, which is probably a good thing. That means another one can't pop in. Anyway, As long as you don't shut the door, goblins can come through. And I remember the first time I did this, it was on Bull Roarer. I think it was like one of the earliest ones that I did. I said, oh, this sounds interesting. And I said, oh my goodness gracious. And I had the thing where I could not kill the goblins fast enough, where the things kept on spawning in and in and in faster than I could do anything. Unfortunately, I have some War 3 Peaks equipment on me, so I am a little bit better equipped than I was on Bull Roarer. But I still don't have the ability to get through here. Actually, they're greenies, but were they always greenies? I could imagine if I had so much trouble with them on Bull Roarer when they're greenies, then that really shows you how bad a build I had when I went on there. Now, on Bull Roarer, I did have my character. It was a transferred character, as it was prior to the War 3 Peaks content. Oh boy, this is... Fortunately, this is ideal for AoEs, at least. Actually, some of these are... Oh, I think the ones who are spawned in are greenies, and that the permanent ones are normals. Okay. Yes, so. Yes, that's what it looks like then. So maybe things aren't as horrendously bad. Either that or they must have toned it down a little bit, perhaps. But the first few times I've done this, it felt like it was like, what are you doing to me? But look at this. Another one's already spawned in. So 2 spawned in since I arrived in the area. So the spawn rate here is just really bad. Actually, I want to get away from that thing. Is that a third one has spawned in? So you can see if you're near them, they seem to spawn in rather rapidly. So I think it might be Really? I haven't even killed one and another one's come through. So the ones here are particularly bad. And okay, good. I managed not to get interrupted. Because the door's right here. Let's see if I can get this one before the next one spawns in. It looks like that the further you're down, now I do wonder if it's possible that they have a certain rate where something spawns in and that they choose a random door so that the further you're along, the faster they come in. It feels that way sometimes because I sometimes feel like that they come in way too fast when you're at this area here. Now, on my level 20, there isn't much of a problem because mobs are paper thin at level 20 anyway. I don't know why I bothered trying to go around that goblin. And the odds of that having worked, or just see, that's a soldier, so that's a fixed one. All right, that's number 8. Now for the other side, and the other side is the most painful of them all, because you had 2 doors right next to each other. And of course, you got the soldier in the way just so that you could be delayed long enough before more to come. Now, of all the ones with the... Oh, no, not rooted. And of course, you get rooted here right when you got this thing respawning things on it. I mean, really. There is absolutely no debuff that can be worse than being rooted next to a mob spawner. Now let's see if I can get these last 2 done. As I said, it feels like that they come in at a pretty rapid clip near the end here, but I actually managed to finish that up. Whew. That went actually faster than I thought. I thought that would take a lot longer. Maybe I'm starting to get used to it. But I could just imagine that if you are a character who's squishy characters could probably have a lot of trouble with. And of course you have a few that got by. And sometimes they're together on there. I've had cases where I've finished it up, I come back here, and there's this mass of goblins down here. Now there are only 2, but the first couple of times when I had no idea what I was doing, I think there were like 8 goblins here. I'd hate to think about someone who's squishy coming down here after that one. But if you don't need the rewards chest, perhaps if you're leveling or something like that, so that there is no rewards chest here, just leave instance where you are after killing the last goblin, and don't bother coming back here, because if goblins do accumulate here, you may have trouble either A, getting out, surviving getting out, or B, of course, talking to the dwarf before the 2 minutes expires, because once you close that last door, you've got 2 minutes to get out before you are removed from the instance. Speaking of which, great work! Let's return and report your success. There were 1 or 2 annoying bits in that one, but I think that was one of my better ones when running on a capped character. Let's see what Ozma has to say. Well done! The goblins are no threat to us while they're trapped inside the mountain. Of course, they will eventually dig new tunnels, but you have bought us some valuable time. Alright. There you go, and that concludes today's episode, where we finished off the 3rd set. That means we have just 2 more to go, and we will see those in the next episode. Until then, class dismissed.